Asia. Bruce down.
Lasso onto Marvel, drags back. Hookshot's going to do absolutely naught here as mid one's just tearing them apart. The Daedalus ripping them to shreds here with the crits. They lose the Viper. 1, 2, 3 though, it's a great coil. Locks back the Lion. They're able to deal with the Bat Rider as well, but the Sunray heal is not enough. Mid one is able to chunk through the health pool. As they've lost 3, they've got to buy back on the Bristleback. Sanctity and Ace 12 will be able to get back to safety.
All these lanes pushing in might be kind of a blessing in disguise for Sanctity. The fact that it's all the way down here. He's only about a third of a level away from 25. Could be that Dream Coil Rapid Fire that ends up doing it for him. Who knows? He's got to back off though. He's got to defend that last lane of racks. Power's already just barely hanging on.
Let's see how they're able to craft the defense. They'll buy back on the Bristle. The rest of the boys are up in 10 seconds here. So with the buyback forced out, SMG, they're going to look to reset. They've got that top lane that needs to be shoved in. Bot's also about even as well. So they're probably going to look to get their lanes in a favorable position. They might look to group back up and try and end this one. Radiant. They're coming out though. They don't want to give them that opportunity. They're a bit disconnected with Moon still down for 30 seconds. So they're going to be able to run into Arfu's Enchantress. Roar on the high ground. Rogi, blink on forward. Great use of the control. They're going to turn into stone with a finger of death. Sanctity will fall. He doesn't have a buyback and now all the hopes are on 1, 2, 3. But they're going to try and sound the retreat. So they've slowed them up on the high ground. Radiant. They should be able to disengage without any more heroes being affected.
Again, the power of vision. You know, the Observer Ward went up just that tiny little bit too late. Yeah, even the dive bomb coming through at the end, able to chain stun the puck down. I feel like that was their last little bit of resistance. The lane's going to be, well, did they even backdoor this? I guess they can. They're going to have mid lane pushing in. They're not going to worry about the creep wave actually being there on the top side. You can just walk up forward. If puck buys back, just back off. He's the only one that's going to hold you in place.
Puckwork? You're in a very peculiar spot, especially with SMG pushing up the higher ground here. That's not a defensive position that you want to be in, and our mid one's even just going to blunk straight on forward. A rip apart the Viper. It's crumbling under the damage that mid one's able to dish out. 3 down, they don't have a buyback, and for the little raccoons, it might just be done and dusted. So able to drag him back, hit him from the front, and that should be all she wrote. As Lil Gun, unfortunately for them, their hopes of qualifying to the International 10 is now done with this series defeat versus SMG.
They gave it everything that they had, you know, like even then fighting until the bitter end. It was always going to be a slugfest against these guys. I mean, 37 minutes again. What is that? What's my math like? 61 kills. It's crazy that you know, they were able to take game 1 so late. I don't think they were demoralized, though. It was just some solid play coming through from SMG, and I feel like perhaps a bit more respect as well. You know, they banned out every single cheese strat imaginable. They had to go and pick all of their signature heroes as well. It was just an all-around solid performance and good team performance as well, not getting ahead of themselves, even though it was, you know, only the first round matchup that they had.
Yeah, beautiful series from SMG. We're going to finally see a second 2-0 here on our stream A. So they're going to move on forward to the lower bracket round 3. We're going to send this to a break. When we come back, we'll break it down with the panel.
F's in the chat for the Raccoons, as they have now been officially eliminated from TI10 contention, and the last of Mongolia's representatives as well, but it was a valiant effort nonetheless. Like you said at the end, it didn't seem like they were demoralized, it just seemed like SMG were on the ball today. They lost against TNC in the upper bracket, and clearly they woke up a little bit, and they had some of the magic that brought them success, at least in one of their games against TNC, which was the Medusa. And yet again, Medusa gets another dub on the board here in the Southeast Asian upper bracket, or Southeast Asian qualifier altogether. It seems Zero is quite good, Danog. No matter what the nerfs, she's still very, very difficult to beat.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising because the way that you take advantage of her, right, is just to be, hyper aggressive, pressure her before she gets a lot of these timings. It just seems that whenever it's had, been come up against, the teams haven't been getting aggressive to her. They go for the easier targets. They go for the ones that are a bit more visible, present, and that ends up costing them. Again, like a 19-minute, third item for Dusa is kind of nuts.
Yeah, and especially for SMG, KP, your boy is more than willing to die for the cause. Ares, he was like, oh, I'm Beastmaster, I already did my job. I got my scepter, life's good.
Yeah. It was just the tactical feed that they were doing and how they were able to recognize they just need to make space for mid one. That's all you need to do. Play the side lanes, shove out these lanes as much as possible, dodge the side of low gun, and if you're going to feed occasionally, that's okay.
Well, on the topic, we do have Mid One here for an interview. Mid One, congratulations on a quick 2-0 victory versus Lilgun.
Thank you.
So after your roster shuffles with SMG, I guess the question that's been on my mind the most is, now that Mushi's not on the team, are you finding that you're gonna have to do more in-game leading and captaining, or was that always kind of a shared responsibility throughout all of SMG's roster in season 2?
I think in-game leading it's shared overall in the team. My way of captaining is more about mentality, most of it, and of course, I would say 50% of it in-game leading, but not really me. I shared to my teammates. I tell them you guys have to figure it out yourself. Think what's the best way. And then I will step in as a third person usually and speak up my mind. And yeah, that's how it works in the team right now.
It feels like, considering your recent match history against Lilgun, that they kind of had the wood on you in previous times. Did you guys feel like that, or do you feel like perhaps you just weren't as prepared as you could have been? Whereas this time it felt like you were on the ball, you were banning out all of their comfort and just doing what gives you the most success.
I mean, game 1 we didn't ban the real comfort, but it's a mistake. But
wait, which one are you considering the real comfort? The Timbersaw or the Lycan?
Of course, the Lycan, okay. Lilgun, they know Lycan very well. So when they go Lycan, Grimstroke is coming. It's their favorite combo. They will keep using it, and it's not very strong. That's what they like to do. So we made a mistake game 1, but fortunately we beat it. And game 2, I just remove it and say guys, fuck this shit, and let's have a normal game.
You love to see it.
You do.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
You mentioned all of the. Oh, sorry. You go ahead, Ares.
I was just gonna say, how were you and the team trying to prepare for the upcoming qualifiers?
Boot camp for a month earlier, and we played a lot for the last 2 weeks. Not really early weeks. Early weeks is more say hope so, and hope things are good, and yeah, that's how we prepare. And yeah.
Was there any team bonding preparation stuff that you guys did in particular with the 4 of you?
We did some games you know, we played like 2 truths, 1 lie. Like you say, like you tell us like three stuff about you,
Yeah.
but one of them is a lie. You have to figure it out which one is a lie. You know, stuff like that. That kind of
Can you do that with us
stuff.
now? Can you tell us 2 truths and a lie?
What was the lie at least? What's the lie that you went for?
What was the lie that I went for?
Yeah.
I said my favorite hero was Hoodwink.
Oh, it was Dota related stuff. How are you supposed to learn about each other as people if it's all Dota?
It's not all of it. Like one of them, it was Dota, but the other 2 is like truth about me. You know, like.
All right, fine. Then tell me that. I want to learn more about Mid-1 as the person.
175 centimeters height, and what's the other one about truth? I'm a good guy. No, I'm just kidding.
These are just your stats, Mid-1.
Was that the truth or the lie? Which one was that?
I have no idea. Yeah.
It was a good success versus Lilgun. I'm curious, whenever you said that you were preparing earlier on, most of the Southeast Asian teams that I've spoken to have also been scrimming Chinese teams. Were you able to scrim Chinese teams as well?
We did not play Chinese team at all. Like, we prefer not to. Feel like there's not much point to play Chinese teams, and we have been only scrimming like Southeast Asian team, and yeah, that's how we did it.
It kind of makes sense going into these qualifiers, right? Because you're not going to be going up against Chinese teams. You're going to be going up against Southeast Asian teams. So better to kind of figure out how they work, I suppose, considering it's not TI yet. But, you know, you're kind of, you've got a few people flying the flags for their countries. You know, KP's the only Australian. Moon's one of the few, as well as yourself, of course, Malaysians there in the pool. So do you guys feel any kind of responsibility for that, for your country?
I guess I think it's fine. Like we don't really feel responsibilities, you know. Like LGD, there's a Malaysian player in there, you know. So it's not really our responsibility right now. Like for us, like we don't feel anything. We just want to play, and that's it. Like that's what we are here for, right? Like we just get into the games, compete, play Dota. That's what we want to do.
You're playing some good Dota for sure, getting a win versus Lilgun, and your next opponent will be the winner of Execration versus 496, which is still going on, but congratulations on another win, and can't wait to see what it's like with KP actually in the boot camp with you guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I can't wait. It's been too long.
It's been too long, man. All right, well done, and looking forward to seeing how you do in the rest of the tournament.
All right, thank you.
Mid-1 of SMG, they all that bonding. I don't know about those 2 truths though. Stating your height.
Just look at the driver's license, basically.
Yeah, I know. Eye color brown. Oh yeah, that's a truth. But the biggest truth of all, if you may indulge me, is that our sponsors are wonderful. Mate Mate has been a proud sponsor of these qualifiers. Wanted to give a shout out to them. It's a natural energy drink. It's caffeine reimagined. Try Mate Mate today and get more day, more night. You can also go to bts.gg/mate to check the availability in your country. It's primarily in Singapore, I think, that they're based. Yes. And so it's Southeast Asian qualifiers. You Southeast Asian viewers hopefully will be able to indulge yourselves. But yeah, that's it for this series. After this series, we have Galaxy Racer versus Omega Esports coming up, and it should be coming up quite soon. So stick around. We'll be right back after the break.
I wanna see Last night we had something. Tonight I'll be guessing, but I don't really have a case. You don't have to mention, you just like their attention. It's written all over your face.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second series of the day here on Beyond the Summit 1. We have Omega Esports versus Galaxy Racer. Meanwhile, elsewhere on Beyond the Summit 2, Execration versus 496 still going down, and the winner of that will be playing Team SMG, which we just saw win. But yeah, Omega versus Galaxy. You guys, you got to cast Galaxy, right? Just now versus Mystery yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
I did, but I did it with Black, so
I was watching. It's fine.
yeah,
Okay.
you were watching. You were in the midst.
I'll
We've
defer to.
We've seen their growth as well, right?
True, yes, as a lower division team, because the question I was going to ask is, as I was recapping their roster, I actually did not know that Miracle and Paulson were now on this team, because that was not the case in lower division, right? Season 2, right?
Miracle he goes by Mizu now, just to avoid all of that confusion, basically.
Miracle left Nigma for this?
I know, right? See, I finally in game as well, they're actually giving him his actual face. Doesn't have his full name yet. It just has his first name. It just says Galvin in game, which is his first name. So no last name. He's like Cher, basically. But the most recent addition to their roster was Jokam. They had 343 playing for them previously, and I believe now he's Galaxy Racer, the organization's like head of Dota for their esports. So they've had Jokam come in. Even with 343, they definitely were on a pretty heavy upward trend in recent times, and they're honestly my dark horse for the entire qualifying run, because I think they could take games off literally anyone.
And they'll be going up against Omega, who I was able to cover against Fnatic, and their Fnatic series was extremely close. Literally every single laning phase, Omega won, and maybe around 30 minutes or so, it starts getting a little bit shaky. Ultimately, Fnatic did take the series 2-1, but the game that Omega won went to like 65 minutes, so it was a cutthroat match between the two. And so, if Galaxy Racer is your dark horse, then that must mean that we've got an interesting series ahead of us, Aries. I think that these will be more closely matched than I think most people would have originally expected.
100%. These two teams it's going to be a treat to watch. Like you said, the Omega game that they were able to win, 65-minute thriller, down 2 full sets of racks, a 22,000 net worth lead comeback. Unfortunately, in the end, they still got knocked down. So we'll see how they're going to be able to fare versus Galaxy Racer, who is not a joke of an opponent at all. These teams are building some momentum. In the Loopbet Pro Series, they looked incredibly strong. And this is, like Danog was saying, a potential dark horse team to take it.
So you were saying that... Or go ahead.
I was about to say, like, with that previous series with Omega and Fnatic, I was a little bit jealous of Ponlo, like one of his first big official tasks, and he gets a 65-minute game where, post 60 minutes, I don't think he said a word. It was all just, like, groans and happy noises and that sort of stuff that was happening. It was great to listen to.
But he felt bad about it, though, because he was just like, guys, I didn't even cast that second game. And Gods and I were like, it's fine. That's exactly what you're supposed to do in a 65-minute game. You just make noises. Yeah. There's no analysis.
It was fantastic. But, really entertaining Dota all throughout. The big difference that I actually saw with Omega is that they were a lot more measured with how they were taking Dota. Like, they weren't just taking fights for the sake of taking fights, which... kind of might have been Lil Gun's undoing in that, particularly the second game that we just saw there, right? It allowed the Deuce to sit back and farm, whereas if they kind of took a bit more of a backseat, went into, and took fights that were smart for them, fights that really would change the outlook for the game, maybe we would have seen a different result. But anything can happen. They're another one of those teams that can pick some of these unorthodox heroes. We've seen Tino play Sniper, for example, in that position 1, if it is the right game for it. So maybe we'll be blessed with having that one come out for us as well. And I'm keen to see Mizu's hero pool continue to evolve as well in that offlane.
Yeah, for better or for worse, it does seem like a lot of teams seem to be taking the fact that it is a 40 million tournament on the line quite seriously, because every single team, like Omega, earlier we saw Motivate Trust versus Neon, everyone seems to be playing quite delicately, which I can respect, obviously, but out of this region, out of Southeast Asia, usually I expect a little bit more, like, sloppiness, which kind of has a negative connotation, but it's fun sloppiness because everyone's playing so aggressively and so entertainingly. And right now, everyone's kind of playing, they're keeping their cards close to their chest as we begin the draft of Smart Omega versus Galaxy Racers. Game number 1, they take the Lion and Templar Assassin on Smart Omega, and Galaxy Racer pick up the Nyx Assassin and the Darkseer.
I think I could hear Lyrical in the background just cheering.
Darkseer!
Darkseer was picked up.
Go. I mean, he should be watching Mizu, because Mizu played the Darkseer at such a high level with the Lupet Pro Series, and well, this was a comfortable hero for him. I think he played it in 4 of those games. I'm intrigued though, because you pick this Templar Assassin in the 3rd pick. You can counter it now in the 4th for Galaxy Racer. They don't opt to do that though. Often we see that a lot of teams are going to go for this 4th pick and then protect it with their bans, but there was an opportunity for Galaxy Racer to kind of counter that early, and they didn't do so. This is showing the priority that they have on Mizu, making sure he gets a comfortable hero and the pairing as well for the Nyx Assassin. So now I'm intrigued to see how Omega want to ban to protect the TA. Already the Undying, Invoker taken care of, so not some of the stock standard bans or counters that we see often to deal with the TA.
For me, I think this is one of the most obvious Ember Spirit wants that Galaxy Racer have. They're getting rid of the Oracle, something that's going to be able to lock him in place, potentially dispel the Flame Guard. It's good against the TA, it's good with the Darkseer, just with the Iron Shell on top of you, and Ember Spirit doesn't really do that much against the Lifestealer. So I feel like that is absolutely what they're going for. Kind of similar thing with the Juggernaut. Like, what do you do against a Juggernaut? He just spins away. You can make himself spell immune, and it's one of Alacrity's best heroes. I think it just ticks every single box that Galaxy Racer are hoping that Omega don't think about.
I think the go-to answer during the Animajor to Templar Assassin was Razor, which is I was seeing like that would always be the reflex ban. But based off of Galaxy Racer's bans, the Lifestealer and the Jug, Razor would have been fine against those. And so it does seem like it's something spirit-oriented. I guess Viper is still available in the pool, but it's not really as big of a deal for TA as it used to be.
They just got rid of it just then.
Oh, there you go, yeah. And then...
It's kind of actually intriguing that they didn't go Razor. Like you just highlighted, one of the best matchups versus the TA. They also have flexibility with it. In Your Dream has played it a very high amount, and this is something they're comfortable on. I know it would have more than likely been the Alacrity Razor, and I guess maybe Alacrity definitely fills the shoes of this playmaker, spirit hero-esque action pack, wanting to be, you know, up in the face of Omega. So I guess maybe that doesn't fill his roles, but we've seen Galaxy Racer previously, like Alacrity has been a position 1 player, so if they went Razor, In Your Dream could have just gone mid.
Very possible.
Shadow Demon for Smart Omega. This is a very atypical draft compared to the rest of Southeast Asia.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was thinking, like, maybe if they were going to go the Ember Spirit, they were going to wait until the other support was picked, just so that they couldn't have, like, an Enchantress or potentially a Shadow Demon that still has that Purge mechanic. Of course, Shadow Demons comes a lot later into the piece, but it's still something that you do need to be concerned about, unless you're confident that you can just run people over super early on.
Yeah, we'll see if they want to pick their anti-TA hero now, or if they'll just continue lingering and see what else Smart Omega are going to do. Because if they're going to dedicate a bunch of their picks to protecting the TA, then maybe they should just worry about Smart Omega's carry hero instead, which I'm assuming that this TA is going to be mid. We see some safe lane TA in like South America. I haven't seen it in Southeast Asia yet, so I'm just going to assume that it's a mid laner.
I mean, the one team that probably does do it a little bit was Lil Gun. You know, occasionally Santee will do it in the safe lane, but you know, F's in the chat for Lil Gun. Hopefully we see them again next DPC season, because you know they are entertaining Dota.
And Galaxy Racer, they're going to keep lingering. They pick up the Phoenix.
does give them an advantage here in teamfight. You take a look at Mega, are very kind of single target orientated with their burst, Lion, TA, Shadow Demon as well. So now you've got some pretty decent ways to be able to protect the Supernova. They've already, you take a look at the bans as well. The Lifestealer, the Juggernaut taken out of the pool. So already some of the better matchups here for Tino to deal with the Supernova is not available.
I've only just noticed it, but like, just cast your mind back to like all the Pro Series and all the lower division stuff that we were casting areas.
Like, I don't know what's going on there.
Serious business, my friends.
Yep. Money on the line.
Smart Omega pick up the Mars. No, I wouldn't really consider that to be a denial pick because I don't really see Galaxy Racer playing in mid, and they already have their offlaner, Darkseer. So, seems like... Actually, I don't... What is the purpose of this Mars in this draft?
I mean, it just gives them another way to start team fights, right? That's the one thing that Galaxy Racer are kind of lacking a little bit, is that the teamfight start is very slow. You know, all you need is a few sentry wards, and an X-Assassin isn't really all that impactful. So, I mean, are they going to go all in into, like, setting themselves up behind their own objectives and then trying to turn things around? We shall see.
And now a Spectre on the board, which means that this Phoenix just got way more value out of the Sunray.
And Shadow Demon is hating himself right now as well, on top of that. I mean, it's pretty rare that you want to... Well, you're going to be able to save the disruption for, you know, someone else in the game. I mean, that's really what the use of the Haunt is in this particular one. Just take out that Shadow Demon super early on, or at the very least, force him into using a defensive disruption to just maybe live. And we'll see if Lion's on point with his positionings, because, of course, with the Haunt, you can actually get rid of those Spectre illusions with the Mana Drain, with the Hex, if you're super quick on the trigger finger.
We'll see, what is the
like an in your dream hero,
typical...
though, you know, just,
okay, so I've asked this on like multiple panels
leaned
now,
so
but,
much more into
we see Blade Mail
I am the
and we
carry.
see
I am
Echo
the one that's
Saber
going to
as
carry
like
this
the
game.
two...
He was always kind of greedy in the mid lane, I felt, and this fits his playstyle so much more. Ember Spirit still in the pool.
Did my mic died?
I mean, it gives them a way to start fights, which is nice. I mean, I guess Spectre does as well, but you know, just multiple ways to get in onto the backlines is always a big plus for mine, especially after we just saw that masterclass support performance come out from the SMG supports in Raji and Arfu.
Okay, wait. We might be having some audio issues, friends. Hold on just a second. We were trying to sort this out. I don't know who can hear me. I don't know who can't hear me. It's okay.
I can hear Tsunami.
I can hear people. There we go.
Okay, I think we're good.
Oh my god! Well, what a good time to come back, because we have a Meepo picked up.
We have a Meepo.
Galaxy Racer. Not last pick overall as well, which is a little surprising. You know, they're going to be able to maybe sort of counter this.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and it's like mid Meepo carry Spectre. That's like the greediest possible thing I could imagine.
We're back as well. Our audio.
Yeah, I wonder how this is gonna fare between Galaxy Racer with the cause. I mean, you got Spectre on Meepo, like you said, it's very greedy, but it's something they're comfortable on. Like, this is the cheese that we saw in our previous series that was getting banned out consistently against Lilgon, and but it's an Alacrity specialty.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess it kind of explains the Pango ban as well, but we got one last pick. They need to figure out a carry hero that could potentially deal with somehow a Meepo and a Spectre. Or maybe just one that can end the game early, because neither of these heroes can really deal with a quick push. So maybe Smart Omega should just look at a sub 30-minute GG strategy.
And it's not often that you see a Meepo come out, and then on top of that, it's not often that you see it before the absolute last pick of the draft. So, you know, how many times do you see people actually get a response to it? Could we see like a carry tiny, perhaps?
Carry ET.
Or
Ooh. Oh. Let's go. Pull something out of the hat. I mean, Galaxy have gone for this Meepo. You won game. You know, you could potentially go a little bit interesting here because you still got that, you know, back off potential in the second game. I want to see what they go for.
5 seconds. Clock's ticking. Hey, let's go for it. All right, so what are the lanes gonna be? Okay, Max playing the Templar Assassin, so it is a safe lane carry. Tino,
oh, please be
ET.
carry. Please
You can't.
carry.
Don't. I swear to God, if they make Mars.
It has to.
Yes.
Yes. Let's
Oh,
go.
What a call, Tsunami. Fantastic.
Okay, so it's good against Spectre as well. Being able to mitigate all of her armor, slap her down. The spell immunity is great as making yourself a competent egg hitter as well. I guess the only question is, how does the lane go? You're a safe lane ET. Your support is going to be a Shadow Demon, and you're going up against a Darkseer Nyx Assassin.
It's not amazing, but, you know, just ET things, right? Once you're level 3, you've just got so much damage that you're able to deal with. I wonder if we should message Fogged and just be like, hey, you might want to tune in to Beyond the Summit, because he is a bit of an ET stan, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he always advocates for the carry potential. I also really hope that Tino has the new Immortal with the fist, because that would look so
does, yeah.
satisfying. He does? Okay, perfect. Hell
Yep.
yeah. I want to see him just sock this Meepo in the face, because you have to know what you're getting yourself into if you don't last pick a Meepo. They 9th picked it. They banned out the Pango, which was a reasonable ban, but Smart Omega stepping out of the box a little bit, and I'm sure they had to go through all the reserve time to be like, Tino, are you sure? Are you sure you know how to play carry ET? He's like, it's fine. It plays itself. I just need to get a spirit on a few Meepos.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I want a prediction from you. How much damage maximum do you think that
Ooh.
this ET is going to get up to at any point in the game?
The problem is that they need to end the game kind of quick, and so like I don't think
Yeah.
that big old team fights are going to happen. And if they do, then that means that Smart Omega is probably going to lose. As great as it is to see ET do big damage, but I'll say more than the damage, I want to see like how many seconds of spell immunity he's going to get off of all these
Rude.
Meepos. But let's say 800. I say he gets up to like 800. But
All right.
you know, numbers can only tell so much. Look at this man with the fist. He's got a vendetta against this Meepo, and I can't wait to see how it goes down in game number 1.
Thank you, Tsunami, man. Denok, what is this draft? What have we got? We got a Meepo Spectre. We've got an Elder Titan on Tino. This is what we love to see. Some heroes that are going to be able to battle it out. This is going to be an incredible game. How are you feeling about this one? Are we on the Omega train, or are we on the Galaxy Racer train?
You gotta go for the carry ET. I'm sorry. Like, I'm a big fan of Galaxy Racer.